Rama Śrīla Prabhupāda Swami Śrīla Prabhupāda ki Jai Om Vishnu Pad Brahmamsa Parivajagacharya Stotra Tata Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Śrīla Prabhupāda ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki Kan Bibiti Panda Śrīla Prabhupāda ki Samavena Bhakti Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Tagore Premanande all glory system. All glory system. All glory system. All glory system. Shishi Guru and Yoga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya.
Narayanam Namaskritya.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasim.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam.
Tato Jayamudire.
Tato Jayamudire.
Nastaprayeshu Bhadreshu.
Nastaprayeshu Bhadreshu.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke.
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke.
Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki.
Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki.
Hare Kṛṣṇa. Welcome to Devasita Mandir Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class. Reading from Canto 1, Chapter 16, 32 and 33. Text 32 and 33. Again, double verse. Brahmadyo bahutitam yagapagna moksha.
Brahmadyo bahutitam yadapanga moksha.
Kamastapas mataram bhagavat prapanaha.
Kamastapas mataram bhagavat prapanaha.
Sa Shri Svavasamara Vindavanam Vihaya. Yatpada Saubhaga Mahavajate Anurakta. Tasyam Abja Kuleshanupsha Ketu Ketai. Śrīmad-Bhāgavata Samalantakani.
Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Bhagavata Samalantakani.
Trinatyarocha Upalabhya Tato Vibhutam Vibhutim.
Trinatyarocha Upalabhya Tato Vibhutim.
Lokan Samam Vyasaraya Usmayakam Tarante.
Lokan Samam Vyasarajat Utsamayati Dadante.
Brahmadayo Bhavotitam Yakapanga Moksha.
Brahmadayo Bhavotitam Yakapanga Moksha.
Kamastapaha Samacharan Bhagavat Prapanai.
Kamastapa Samacharan Bhagavat Prapanna.
Sāshri Svavasam Aravindavanam Vihaya.
Sāshri Svavasam Aravindavanam Vihaya.
Yatpada Saubhagam Manam Vajate Anurakta. Tasyam Yukja Kuli Shanakusha Ketu Ketai.
Tasyam Yukja Shanakusha Ketu Ketai.
Śrīmad-Bhāgavate Bhagavata Samalantakani.
Śrīmad-Bhāgavate Bhagavata Samalantakani.
Trinatyarocha Upalabhya Tato Vibhutim.
Trinatyarocha Upalabhya Tato Vibhutim.
Lokan Samam Vyasaraj Utsmayatim Tarante.
Lokan Samam Vyasarajat Utsmayatim Tadante.
Anybody want to attempt?
Brahmadayo bahutitam yadapanga moksha.
Brahmadayo bahutitam yadapanga moksha.
Samastapa samacharan bhagavat prapanna. Sa Sri Svavasam Aravindavanam Vihaya. Yat pada salvanam alam bhajate nanurakta. Tasya amarta kulishan kushaketu ketai. Śrīmad-Bhāgavata samalam kritangi. Trin akyaroca upalabhyato vibhutim. Lokan samamya sarajat utsmayatim dadante.
Brahma Adaya. Demigods such as Brahma. Bahutitam. For many days. Yat. Of Lakṣmī, the goddess of fortune. Apanga moksha. Glance of grace. Kama. Being desirous of. Tapa. Penances. Samachara. Executing. Bhagavat. Unto the personality of Godhead. Prapana. Surrender. Sa. She, the goddess of fortune. Shri. Lakṣmī. Svavasam. Her own abode. Aravindavanam. The forest of lotus flowers. Vihaya. Leaving aside. Yat. Whose? Pada. Feet. Sobhagam. All blissful. Alam. Without hesitation. Bhajate. Worships. Anurakta. Being attached. Tasya. His. Aham. Myself. Abjat. Lotus flower. Kulisha. Thunder. Anuksha. Rod for driving an elephant. Ketu. Flag. Ketahi. Impressions. Śrīmad. Owner of all objects. Vadai. By the soles of the feet. Bhagavat. Of the personality of God. Samalinkanta Agni. One whose body is so decorated. Three. Aki. Superseding. Arocha. Beautifully decorated. Upalabhya. Having obtained. Tata. Thereafter. Vibhutim. Specific powers. Loka. Planetary systems. Sa. He. Ma. Me. Yes, right. Give up. Utsmayatim. While feeling proud. Tat ante. At the end. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Lakṣmī Devī, the goddess of fortune, whose glance of grace was sought by demigods like Brahma, and for whom they surrendered many a day unto the personality of Godhead, gave up her own abode in the forest of lotus flowers, engaged herself in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord. I was endowed with the specific powers to supersede the fortune of all three planetary systems by being decorated with the impressions of the flag, thunderbolt, elephant, driving rod, lotus flower, which are signs of the lotus feet of the Lord. But at the end, when I felt I was so fortunate, the Lord left me. Purport. The beauty and opulence of the world can be enhanced by the grace of the Lord and not by any man-made planning. When the Lord Sri Krishna was present on this earth, the impressions of the special signs of his lotus feet were stamped on the dust, and the result of this specific grace, the whole earth was made perfect as possible. In other words, the rivers, the seas, the forests, the hills, and the mines, which are all supplying agents for the necessities of men and animals, were fully discharging their respective duties. Therefore, the riches of the world surpassed all the riches of other planets in the three planetary systems of the universe. One should therefore ask that the grace of the Lord be always present on earth so that we may be favored with his causeless mercy and be happy, having all necessities of life. One may ask, how can we detain the Supreme Lord on this earth after his mission is fulfilled and he has left this earth for his own abode? The answer is that there is no need to detain the Lord. The Lord, being omnipresent, can be present with us if we want him at all. By his omnipresence, he can always be with us if we are attached to his devotional service by hearing, chanting, remembering, etc. There is nothing in the world with which the Lord is disconnected. The only thing that we must learn is to excavate the source of connection and thus be linked with him by offenseless service. We can be connected with him by the transcendental sound representation of the Lord. The holy name of the Lord and the Lord himself are identical. And one who chants the holy name of the Lord in an offenseless manner can at once realize that the Lord is present before him. Even by the vibration of radio sound, we can partially realize sound relativity. And by resounding the sound of transcendence, we can verily feel the presence of the Lord. In this age, when everything is polluted by contamination and culling, it is instructed in the scriptures and preached by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that by chanting the holy name of the Lord, we can at once be free from contamination and gradually rise to the status of transcendence and go back home. The offenseless chanter of the holy name of the Lord is as auspicious as the Lord himself. And the movement of pure devotees of the Lord all over the world can at once change the troublesome face of the world. Only by the propagation of the chanting of the holy name of the Lord can we be immune from the effects of the age of Kali. Om Gyana Gyana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manoishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Nalati Swavarantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagratam Saganaratam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadhutam Paridam Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Saganam Adita Shri Shakamritamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Janipatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastuke Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanastuke Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavadebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitya Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvichesha Shunyavadi Pashankare Shatari Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Shri Vasavi Gaura Bhakta Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. just reread the verse again. We didn't do repetition because it's so long. Just here. Lakṣmī, the goddess of fortune, whose glance of grace was sought by demigods like Brahma, and for whom they surrendered many a day unto the personality of Godhead, gave up her own abode in the forest of lotus flowers, engaged herself in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord. I was endowed with the specific powers to supersede the fortune of all three planetary systems by being decorated with the impressions of the flag, thunderbolt, elephant, and lotus flower, which are signs of the lotus feet of the Lord. But at the end, when I felt I was so fortunate, the Lord left me. Earth is speaking again about the position of her condition, having the Lord left her. And Śrīla Prabhupāda writes again in the opening of this purport that the beauty and opulence of the world can be enhanced by the grace of the Lord. So we see in this verse, Lakṣmī Devī is speaking that Lakṣmī Devī had great opulence. She was enjoying in the forest of lotus flowers. So we can know any place where there's a forest of lotus flowers must be a very rich and opulent place. It takes, a perfect environment for lotus flowers to grow and to have a forest of them, a very opulent place. And what did she do? She gave it all. For what? To serve the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. And she's saying that, demigods, like Lord Brahma, they've given up many a day. They've given much time to serve the Supreme Personality of God. And so, by this indication, we understand that there's nothing but the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. And Lakṣmī Devī is saying, makes a very interesting point here. She says that I have specific powers to supersede the fortune of all three planetary systems. What does she mean by that? And we know Bullock is in the middle of the 14 planetary systems broadly. I mean, there's 3 categories. So there are higher planetary systems, all the way up to Brahma. But she's saying she has superseded all of them. How she has superseded all of them? That's quite, is she being proud? So as we see in Nectar of Instruction, that even she's not only surpassed the planetary systems, but she has surpassed, right? Rupa Goswami tells us that planet Earth is high because in Vaikuntha, Krishna in the doesn't walk in Vaikuntha without sandals, slippers. But in planet Earth, his lotus feet have walked all over Vrajabhumi, Vrindavan. And for that, Vaikuntha became planet Earth became even higher than Vaikuntha, because it received the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we see Lakṣmī Devī has surrendered her, opulence to be at the feet of the Supreme Lord. Mother Bhumi is saying that she has surpassed all the planetary systems by the imprints of the Lord's lotus feet. And in fact, we know she has not only surpassed the planetary systems of the material universe, even up to Vaikuntha. After that, what is left? Just Golok, Vrindavan. So, we see that the lotus feet of the Lord is actually our only shelter. And we seek shelter from so many different things. We want shelter, we seek shelter, through our wealth, through our, relationships in the world, through, alarms in our houses, to insurance. We seek so much shelter. But actually the only shelter we have is the lotus feet of the Lord. And let's just speak about a few of these things. So, as you know, or you may know, Krishna has these markings on his feet. Right? And so these markings are not random. They are very important markings for us. So, for example, the thunderbolt. What is the meaning of the thunderbolt? The thunderbolt on Krishna's feet is the thunderbolt that breaks down mountains and mountains of sins that we have accumulated. This elephant goad, it's the thing that they use to guide the elephant. So we know that an elephant has its own mood. And where it's walking, it's very hard to pull away from. We were in Kenya recently, and the drivers have to be very thoughtful, finding where they are going and not get in their way. Because when they want to go, they just go. So why is that? Why does Krishna have an elephant goad on his foot? Because our mind is extraordinarily hard to control. We have these fixed ideas in our mind. And when they're there, they're very hard to undo and they're very hard to control. So by meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord, we're praying that he uses his goad to grab our elephant-like mind to his lotus feet. Like this, the lotus flower is auspicious. So all these markings on Krishna's feet serve as a purpose to deliver all of us. They are not just random markings, and our acharyas have given comments on all of them. Actually, there's a book written that explains each of the markings on Krishna's feet. It's very, very nice. And Śrīla Prabhupāda writes about a number of them in other parts of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. But these lotus footprints are so fortunate and so auspicious that actually they still exist in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. These lotus footprints of the Lord are eternal. When Krishna would go to the forest with the cowherd boys, when he would make an imprint, nobody would walk over that imprint. So they would be extremely careful to go around so that none of his footprints were ever disturbed, because they were so valuable. When the wind blows in Vrindavan, the wind blows around his feet, footprints. Because otherwise the sand, the fine sand of Sri Vrindavan, Vraj, will fall into the footprint and disturb the footprint. So even the wind goes. We know that Krishna, being Gopal, the caretaker of the cows, had to take the cows to the forest. How many cows? How many? 900,000. How many feet a cow has? 4. So how many total hoofs are there?
2 tough men.
3.6 million. Don't ask the dentist to do math. 3.6 million, we'll ask the accountant. 3.6 million feet. And when Krishna is walking, is he walking in front or back? Front. Has to lead the cows. He wanted to be back, but cows said, no, we won't move. He's chanting, go, go! And the cows aren't going anywhere. And then he says, no, we have to go in the front. We'll follow you. So when they are following, Krishna's footprints are there. And every single cow ensures that they don't step over Krishna's footprint. That's 3.6 million hoof prints are avoiding Krishna's footprint. So auspicious is Krishna's lotus feet. This is how powerful. Thousands and millions of people are praying to Lakṣmī Devī for fortune. But they are so foolish because they don't know what fortune is. They want Lakshmi but not Narayana. They'll worship Lakṣmī Devī, but they won't worship her. And who is the possessor of all fortune worshipping? Her treasury? Her wealth? Yes, her wealth. What is her wealth? The lotus feet of Krishna. So when we worship Lakṣmī Devī, what is the wealth that we can aspire for? It's the lotus feet of Krishna. That is the real wealth. But even that, Lakṣmī Devī was ready to give up. Even the opulence of worshipping the lotus feet. She realized that she had the uninterrupted service of massaging the feet of the Lord. We've just established how potent the feet of the Lord are. And she realized, the gopis of Vrindavan have even more than me. They have this very deep relationship with Krishna that's not full of awe and reverence. So she goes to Vrindavan to perform tapasya. She left to perform tapasya. In fact, as soon as she's still performing tapasya, trying to obtain this mood of devotion. And after so much effort, it's not happening because of this awe and reverence. And so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give us this mood of Vrindavan Bhakti. And by what process? Chanting the holy names. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. So that which Lakṣmī Devī herself could not obtain through extraordinary austerity. Think about the blessing she had. The dust of the lotus feet of Krishna, how much she must have accumulated? Unlimited amount. But for us, fallen conditioned souls, Krishna himself is saying, just take to the process of chanting. And you can achieve the position even higher than Mother Earth. Receive the footprints of the Lord. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is taking us all back to Goloka Vrindavan. He came to teach the mood with great raga, great intense attachment that only exists in Goloka Vrindavan. And so he's giving us this with tons of austerity, so much complicated process, but we complicate it. We complicate it by our inability to execute the simplicity of just chanting. Śrīla Prabhupāda writes that only by the propagation of the chanting of the holy name of the Lord can we be immune from the effects of the age of Kali Yuga. So, if we back up in the purport, Mother Muni is saying that she lost the Lord, right? She was feeling so fortunate, and then he left. And what did Prabhupada tell us? Do we have to just accept that Krishna left? He says that we should detain the Lord. Now, my understanding, I'm not so intelligent, that's putting it generously, that in order to detain someone has to be stronger to detain, right? Like, if you want to detain a criminal, you need the authority of a police to detain. Right? If you want to hold back an animal, you have to have a strong rope, right? You need strength. So how are you going to detain the Lord? Explain that logic. How does that work? How are you going to detain the Lord? The Lord said, hey, my business is done, shop closed, I'm going back home. And you know who is most anxious? Srimati Radharani. She didn't want to come here. Krishna bribed her. What did he bribe her with? Yamuna Devi, Govardhan, and all the other residents of Vrindavan. He said, fine, you're not coming with me? He's not going to come over without her. And he sent all of this here so that she would come. So she's ready to go back. So how are we going to keep Krishna? What scope we have? This is the unlimited magnanimity of Śrīla Prabhupāda, which will never even be able to scratch the surface of the kindness. Because he says, you can detain me by chanting my holy names. You say, yeah, well, that sounds good. But it's not you. As soon as that comes in our consciousness, we are committing the fifth offense in chanting of the holy names. It's a great offense. Prabhupada writes that this is an amazing statement. I don't know if you noted it when we wrote. Hear this. The offenseless chanter of the holy name of the Lord is as auspicious as the Lord himself. Think about that. The offenseless chanter of the holy name of the Lord is as auspicious as the Lord himself. So it shows, one, that this this offenseless chanting is not so easy. It's a lifetime of endeavor to try to come to this Suddhanam, this pure chanting of the holy names. But why is it as auspicious as the Lord himself? Because the names of the Lord are not different from him. So if one is chanting offensively, he is broadcasting the name of the Lord. He is bringing Krishna wherever he goes. We were discussing the other day. You can chant money, money, money. Prabhupada used to use this example. You can chant money, money, money. Will it make you rich? Is it going to fill your pockets? No. You can chant pakora, pakora, pakora. Is it going to fill your belly? But chanting Krishna, Krishna, Krishna is manifesting the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Not in theory, but in reality. And this is what brings auspiciousness. So, the presence of the Lord he's as Prabhupada writes the word omnipresent. He's present everywhere. And this presence of the Lord is what brings auspiciousness. Prabhupada writes, our man-made attempts to make this place beautiful is useless. The beauty and opulence of the world can be enhanced by the grace of the Lord and not by any man-made plan. So, in that regard, I was discussing with Prabhupada at this program that when Śrīla Prabhupāda came here, and we have to do some research now, because Hare Prabhu in his Transcendental Diary had given some recollections and some notes on how Śrīla Prabhupada wanted to manifest this project here. And part of it was he wanted to be a cultural center because of his royal opulence, and so he, that's why the Bhaktivedanta Cultural Center name came. And it's amazing how Krishna arranges this. So I hadn't thought about this Bhaktivedanta Cultural Center name in decades. I hadn't thought about it at all. And I was crossing the street, coming here this morning, just now, not early morning. And there's a gentleman walking by this, running on this bike on the street. And he stops. He says, "Hey, can I ask you, what is this place?" And I said, "Oh, it's a temple. It's a Fisher mansion. It's a temple." And his name's Peter, and he's like, "Oh, I ride by here every day. I just live over here, and thousands of times, and I've always wanted to know what this is." I said, "Why don't you come today? My good friend here will give you a tour at 5 o'clock. I'm being dead straight." He said, "You can have a tour." And he's like, "I'll do that. I'm going to come." And then he asked me, he's like, "Hey, what does that sign say?" Bhaktivedanta Cultural Center. I have not read that sign. I walk by it every day. And he asked me, "What does that sign say?" I'm thinking, we were just discussing this yesterday. And the point is that Krishna has this amazing ability. But when Prabhupada is writing here that the presence of Krishna what makes auspicious, when the devotees came here, they did not want to buy this place. Even Amrish Prabhu himself, we can't move it, make a temple here. And remember, they were on Jefferson Avenue, very prime place. If you look at all the high-rise apartments in that area, why? Because that was the opulent place, right in Indian Village, right off of Belle Isle. So they were coming from a very prominent place. And Śrīla Prabhupada, when he came here, they actually didn't want to even bring him. They were scared that something could happen to Śrīla Prabhupada. So much danger. But what did Prabhupada say? If you bring Krishna here, everything will transform. By the presence of Krishna, opulence is happening. Not by anything else. Real opulence. And of course we know, within few weeks after Prabhupada bought this place, the bulldozers came. And they tore down so many prostitution houses and drug houses. So between here and Jefferson, it was like a death zone. It was really, really, and this street they added this because you might wonder why it turns like this. Because they had to basically undo all this space between here and Jefferson. And still we're trying to find some historical maps of what it was like. But it was really, really atrocious type way. But the interesting thing is, there were devotees doing Sankirtan in this neighborhood. That's how they happened upon it. They saw this, and they started inquiring. So how brave devotees are, that they were willing to go to the place, they weren't even happy to bring Prabhupada. But, of course, as Śrīla Prabhupada said, when you establish the Supreme Personality of Godhead, everything manifests. And of course we're seeing that very, very vividly. So it is the presence of the Lord, of course, that solves all of our issues, solves all of our problems. And how to harness the presence of the Lord? It is through the chanting of the holy names. As we take to the process of chanting, we can actually engage with the Lord. And we get this question a lot. If chanting is so important, why won't we just chant? Why are we spending time, studying Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam? Why are we spending time, beautifully decorating the forms of the Lord? Why are we spending time cooking and all these things? What is the purpose of all that? The purpose of all of that is to increase our faith and commitment to offenseless chanting of the holy names. If our service is not increasing our attachment to the holy names, we are doing our service wrong. Just like if I go to the gym and my body is not getting fit, what does it mean? I'm not doing it right. I'm going but I'm not doing it right. So when we embark on anything, there's always a desired outcome, a desired result. So the intended result of all of our service, and this is established by Rupa Goswami in establishing these 64 angas of Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, that everything we do should lead to our intensified chanting of the holy names. And if it's not, we have to make some adjustments. And that's why Rupa Goswami says in the very beginning, Guru Parashad, the first thing we have to do is accept the lotus feet of the spiritual master. Because the lotus feet of the spiritual master is what engages us in chanting. That's what we call Harinam initiation. To be trained in the process of chanting Harinam. And so like that, everything we do in spiritual life must center on better chanting of the holy names. And if it's not, we have to make some adjustments. Because as Prabhupada says, I think Prabhupada's exactly in his words, only by the propagation of chanting of the holy names of the Lord can we be immune from the effects of Kali Yuga. Only. So if we are doing anything else in devotional service, it has to funnel into this chanting. Otherwise, how Prabhupada can say only? Not and, or in addition to, but only. So anything else we do in devotional service must funnel into our chanting of the holy names. This is the most important thing, and that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give us Shikshashtakam prayers, the only prayers he left us, and said, just chant this. So that is our opportunity to detain the Supreme Personality of Godhead and embrace the lotus feet of Shri Radha Kunj Vihari so that we can make progress, and we can pray to Lakṣmī Devī to give us the wealth of attachment to the holy names of the Lord. And with that, all opulence, all success, all wonderful things will manifest by that single process. Hare Kṛṣṇa. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki Śrīla Prabhupāda ki Ananta Koti. Comments, questions, corrections, clarifications? Everyone's got it? Ready to go chanting?
I like how you brought up the cultural center. So, because people stop by almost on a daily basis. One person stops by and takes a photo from outside or looks, peeks in, goes a little bit on the driveway, looks around and comes out. Every day someone stops by this temple on the outside. So I feel like a big welcome to the cultural center.
Oh, we've been talking about taking those two shrubs down, which I've been totally against, but now I'm like, well, you can't see Bhakti Vedanta cultural center. I'm feeling like Śrīla Prabhupāda's like, you fool, look at my sign. He had this person bike by just so that, but yeah, no, I mean, it's a big opportunity to promote, and we were talking about trying to do some cultural programs in this community center on the water, because, you know, anytime they have a program there, it's like packed. The parking lot's full, it's old people out in the street, and so they have a great draw, and we can draw people to, you know, the cultural programs that are taking place here. Of course, their definition of cultural programs is different than our definition. But that's why Prabhupada was so brilliant, because he would attract people with their terminology, right? But not dilute the effects.
Many people remember to if we meet anyone on the streets, many people remember coming here or hearing about it and stuff. So that really wonderful benefit.
Well, you know, we meet so many people in this area who are not only that, they're second generation. Like, oh, my parents used to come here. And they're not so young. Like, they remember like when devotees used to go out and do Harinam. And like, oh yeah, my parents used to get those, what do they call it? Toffee. And like, the burfies. They didn't know what it was. But they would distribute these. But it's like the second generation of people. So, I mean, Prabhupada has, you know, cemented that amazing prophecy. Yes. Anything else? Okay, Hare Krishna. Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai. Lord Kṛṣṇa Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai.